Lea pressed her back against the building, the rough bricks pushing painfully into the exposed skin of her shoulder blades. She fought to breathe, but the summer air was so heavy with humidity that it felt as though her lungs couldn't draw it in past the frantic pounding of her heart. Footsteps thudded on the uneven pavement and reverberated through the alley. Lea felt the panic creeping further up her throat and the tears stinging the corners of her eyes. She willed them not to fall. It always made things worse when she cried. Stepping carefully out of the shadow where she had been hiding, Lea started to run. Behind her, the footsteps grew louder and faster as Brent chased her, screaming her name through a haze of cheap beer and frustration. The end of the alley seemed to stretch further and further from her as she ran, ankles struggling to keep her balanced as the spike heels of her shoes caught in the breaks and dips in the pavement. She was only a few yards from the end of the alley and the road that waited beyond. She hadn't even thought about what she would do when she got there. If she could just get out of the alley, maybe then she had a chance. Gasping for air, she pushed forward a few more steps, then sobbed as she felt Brent's hand grasp the back of her hair and yank her roughly off her feet. Lea stumbled to the ground, landing hard on her hip. She yelped at the pain of Brent pulling her hair, which just made him pull harder. Slithering against the ground trying to get free, she felt tiny bits of loose gravel cutting into her palms and scratching her legs. "Brent, please," she sobbed. "Shut up, bitch," he snarled, and she felt the blinding explosion of his fist against her cheekbone. This was by far not the first time their fights had escalated to this point, but that did not lessen the pain, the horror, or the humiliation as she lay on the ground, finally free of his grip on her hair but unable to move. Brent's hands came to her shoulders and forced her onto her back. Lea tried to scream, but the sound died under his hands. His knee dug into her stomach to pin her to the ground as he stared down at her. The fire in his eyes was all too familiar. There was brutality there, cruelty that stemmed from long before she met him, and that would likely continue long after she was gone. Brent leaned down to kiss her, and Lea twisted away from him, knowing it would likely make him even angrier, but not able to stomach the taste of his sour, disgusting mouth. She caught a fleeting glimpse of the road beyond the end of the alley and the slice of moonlight illuminating it before she felt Brent's hand thrust roughly up her skirt. His other hand grabbed her neck and helplessness washed over her. The way he clutched her neck right beneath her jaw made it so that she couldn't even move her head. She could only lay there as Brent tore her panties from her body. The smile on Brent's face made her stomach turn. It was a smile she had seen so many times before, but that never failed to make her tremble with fear. She knew not to close her eyes, not to cry. She tried to focus on the moonlight rather than the sound of him fumbling with his belt buckle. Suddenly, the moonlight disappeared as a shadow fell across her. The weight on her stomach and the pressure on her neck eased as someone lifted Brent off of her and tossed him roughly onto the ground several feet away. Lea scrambled to her feet, watching as a tall, broad-shouldered man landed a kick directly into Brent's face. Blood splattered against his skin, and Brent wailed, curling in on himself. Dressed entirely in black, the man looked like one of the shadows spread across the alley as he lifted Brent off the ground with another kick to his stomach. Brent tried to stand, but the man kicked him again, forcing him back to the ground. Lea screamed, finally able to find her voice. Her hand flew to her mouth and she stumbled back several steps. "I told you to shut up," Brent growled as he started to stagger to his feet. Blood trickled down his lips and into his mouth, and Lea's stomach turned as he spit some of it toward her. He gave another of his lecherous sneers a second before the mysterious man's fist made contact with his face, and Brent crumpled to the ground again.